Alright, you know what time it is? It's time to do another video. And I could go on and talk about all the same old social and political persecution of me, Stephen Bell, as I have done thousands of other times. But instead I'm going to try to focus in this video on some of the new developments that have happened. You know how I had a court case for a while ago against a seller of Rottweiler puppies, and who I have a purchasing agreement with in writing, and despite thereof they told me I was not allowed to buy my puppy only 2 weeks before I was supposed to pick up my puppy. And all of this was more or less completely and utterly staged by the government here in Denmark, PET, the Danish Intelligence Agency, using synthetic telepathy as their communication system, broadcasting of their propaganda campaigns, accusing me of being some kind of abuser of animals and dogs, and they were trying to what can you misconstrue this purchase of a puppy by me, a Rottweiler puppy, with these false and fabricated allegations that the government use. Basically a complete frame job, and obviously I wasn't going to stand for having a purchasing agreement in writing and then being told not being allowed to buy the puppy anyways, under some pretext that I had abused this small little puppy in any way, shape or form. And this was literally what the owner of the puppies had said I had done when I was out looking at the puppy. They say that I had treated it in the wrong way, and all I had done was tested the puppy if it was going to be a good dog for the work that I was going to do with the dog, protection work. So I wanted the dog that was able to be trained to obey my command and to be a loyal and if need be aggressive dog on my command. So I needed a proper dog, why I chose a Rottweiler, and why I didn't want some scared, nervous dog. So obviously the state is not interested in me having any kind of means to protect myself when they try to obviously they try to have people have me killed, and they try to have people do me bodily harm the same way the state does this themselves. So yeah, I went to court, and my opposite party tried to make references to the government's claims without actually saying it, so speaking indirectly, referring to that I was some kind of abuser of dogs. And I literally demonstrated all I had done while I was looking at this puppy, which I have obviously recorded my visit to the kennel, because I had already, leading up to this last visit, sensed that something was going to transpire, and I was yeah, so I would need the documentation of my visit. So I had the documentation, and at the end of the day I won the case, and I was afforded a compensation all in all, after all the fees and whatnot, and the percentages in the money that goes when you don't get paid. I'm not so good I don't know what these things are called in English, but anyways, I won the case, and I was afforded like 12,000 kroner when it was when everything was included. And they had my counterpart had a period to reply to the appeal processing board here in Denmark, and this board has recently, and this is another thing, they told everybody before they told me, so I was the last to know, despite me in the end of the day also winning the case there, as they were not allowed to appeal the case because there was no prospect in the case having any success and whatnot. And yeah, so now this puppy, this kennel, the puppy owner, who didn't want to sell me a dog, has to pay me even more money now, and the governments keep saying to this person, don't pay him. So now I have just filed another case at an enforcement court. So now this person who had in the beginning could have gotten away with the settlement paying me 5,000 kroner, they now have to pay me 14,000 kroner. And the government, through this synthetic telepathy communication system and probably other channels, I keep telling them don't pay, and it's getting more and more expensive for this person to obey the government's ridiculous arbitrary rules and that are being communicated over the program. And this is an example of what they do. And I have just begun boxing again, and as you know, as soon as I do anything related to fight sports or whatnot, they are obviously always trying to have me banned and have me not being able to go places and not train, and they basically all they want is to set me up. So yesterday I went to training, and it was early in the morning, and obviously they didn't want me to go to training. I had made an arrangement with the trainer to do sparring with the coach, so they wanted me to let the coach down, you know, like a first impression thing, having an arrangement with a coach and then not meeting up to training. That is not a good look. So obviously I was completely and utterly denied sleep all night, and when they found out that I was going to go without any sleep, well, then they start attacking my interdigestive systems. So I ended up with all yesterday, through all the night and all the day, I was without sleep. I must have gone to piss like 50 times that day, because I was being so heavily irradiated and directly causing me to have overactive bladder syndrome. And I also had to take a shit every fucking half an hour, and this was literally the extent of the irradiation that I was subjected to. And while all of these things were going on, they are using the causes that they are causing my body through these electromagnetic irradiation bombardments as their propaganda content. So they're kind of just ridiculing me how I was needing to shit all the time or needing to piss all the time. Obviously they wasn't emphasizing how they had also completely denied me sleep, and I still went to the training and did well in the sparring rounds. They obviously they weren't interested in those aspects, but they're only interested in the piss and shit aspects that they themselves were causing.